Well, here we are, Mega Trippers. As promised, we have arrived on the famous Bermondsey Street. Bermondsey Street is the culinary centre of Bermondsey. It's exactly where you come, particularly for the high-end, fancier, more reputable restaurants. There are other elements to the Bermondsey food scene which we will explore. But anyway, now we're here. I'm going to give you my guide, in no particular order, other than the order they are in on the street, to my top 5 places to eat and drink here on Bermondsey Street. So number 1, my places to eat and drink here on Bermondsey Street is the Woolpack Pub. Come along, grab a pint, it's got a great garden, good food, everything you can want from a traditional London boozer, but here on the buzzy Bermondsey Street. Let's have a closer look. So number 2 on my list, if you want to upgrade from just drinks and perhaps you want a little snack, is the Jose Tapas Bar, one of 2 locations the famous chef Jose Pizarro has here on Bermondsey Street. We'll check out the other one in a minute, but that's number 2 for you. Okay, so we've done drinks, some nibbles, and now it's time to upgrade to the main course. I'm not gonna lie, number 3 is genuinely my favourite restaurant in all of London, the wonderful Casse Croûte that you'll find here on the corner of Bermondsey Street and Tanner Street. It's a fantastic French brasserie here in Bermondsey. Free starters, free mains, free desserts every single day. Traditional French style. Gonna say it's probably at least 50% butter, but that's what makes it so good. If you're getting full though, when you're trying to make the most of eating and drinking and you've just got a day here in Bermondsey, my top tip for Casse Croûte is don't go and have a sit down meal, go and sit at the bar, have a bottle of champagne and some of their fantastic charcuterie they cut right in front of you. Things like duck saucisson, lovely French cheeses. It really is an absolute treat. One of my top tips of things to do. Get it in ya. So number 4 on my list of top places to eat here on Bermondsey Street is Hakata, an amazing ramen bar, got some great Japanese style snacks. One tip from me though, no reservations, so you may have to queue. People tend to move through quite quickly. I'd also recommend that you check out their bao buns and their cocktails. It's a great buzzy place to meet, greet, eat and drink. And then number 5, my last place on this whistle-stop tour of the best places to eat and drink on Bermondsey Street has to be Pizarro, right behind me here. The very first restaurant by Jose Pizarro, the famous Spanish chef, the self-proclaimed godfather of Spanish food in the UK. This was his very first restaurant here on Bermondsey Street. Definitely on the spenny side, but for a special occasion, if you want a real treat, come and check out Pizarro. It is mwah! Well, that's the end of my whistle-stop culinary tour, things to eat and drink here on the famous Bermondsey Street in southeast London. But the food and drink culture here is multifaceted, so that's not all we'll be looking at. Normally, if people come to London and come to southeast London and London themselves, they think about this area, they think about near London Bridge, which is where we are now, and near the famous Tower Bridge. They tend to think of Borough Market. But Borough Market's not the only option. If you're a local, you might just go somewhere else. And that's where I'm going to show you in a minute. But just to finish off this section on Bermondsey Street, it's not all about food and drink. It's also about art and culture as well. So check out these couple of options to add to your visit here in Bermondsey, on Bermondsey Street in southeast London. Bermondsey Street is located in what was once the leather district, the tanning district. So you'll see lots of street signs such as Tanner Street, Leather Market, and that was very much the industry here. But now those buildings, that old industry has been revolutionised into a culinary delight here in the heart of southeast London. But it's also a cultural place. One of the things you can find down here on Bermondsey Street is the Fashion and Textile Museum. When it comes to art and culture here on Bermondsey Street, it's not just the textile museum that you have down the north end of Bermondsey Street. But if you want something a bit more contemporary, a bit more modern, then there's a fantastic and very famous White Cube Modern Art Gallery. Here we go. Check it out. Very modern, very stark from the outside. But I promise you, it's worth a visit. Some of the best modern art here in southeast London you can come and enjoy. Just another reason to come and visit down here in Bermondsey. And finally, thinking about the cultural side of Bermondsey and Bermondsey Street, you cannot forget Bermondsey Square. It's down at the south end of Bermondsey Street, and the reason I recommend you come here is really on a specific day. If you come here on a Friday afternoon, you can find one of the oldest antiques markets in London. Right here in the now modernised Bermondsey Square. Bermondsey is boundaried to the north by the River Thames, to the east by Southwark Park, to the south by the Old Kent Road, and to the west by Borough High Street. And right in that northwest corner is one of the most iconic landmarks of this piece of London, the famous Shard standing above London Bridge Station. It's definitely changed the skyline while I've been here. Okay, Megatrip fans. In earlier sections of this video, you'd have heard me talk about Bermondsey's history being an area of warehouses, really supporting the naval and merchant naval industries. And part of that used to be making ropes. And they used to have these things called rope walks, which were long streets really where you could construct ropes at a serious length. And one of those is still around today. It's called Rope Walk. And on Rope Walk, you will find one of the other sides of the Bermondsey food culture, the lesser known about market in this area, the Maltby Street Market. So now let's go and check out what it's all about. Down here you'll find lots of lovely little bars, little food stalls. It is very much a food market where you can come inside, enjoy a nice drink, a break from the cold. But what I'm going to do is go and have a look at some of the stalls in this buzzy area of Bermondsey in southeast London. Lots of street art, graffiti, lots of history. Of course, absolutely delicious food and drink. Join me. See a massive variety of food stalls here from around the world. I mean, just look at this. I wish you could smell what I'm smelling because it's absolutely delicious. Get yourself down here, try some of the food, have a little drink. Why not? Just as savoury, also amazing sweet treats. Like here at this vegan bakery stall. If you want to take something home to make yourself, if you're inspired. It's Taylor's of Maltby Street. Pick up your local produce. I mean, those chanterelles have me thinking about my dinner already. Food, of course, is no good without a nice glass of wine. So why not come down to the wine bar down here too? Oysters were once a cheap food for those living on the banks of the Thames, but they've now been upgraded. Best served with champagne and caviar, if you fancy treating yourself. don't have to eat outside in the cold. You can dive into a little establishment like this, bring your food in, get yourself a glass of wine, enjoy the best of Bermondsey. So you can see there's lots of different options here. Like the Latin bros there. From oysters and champagne to burgers to Latin food to Armenian food. You can get whatever you want down here at Maltby Street Market. She's actually growing every single year. Every time I come here, there seems to be something new and exciting, which is great for a resident like me. There is one other side of Bermondsey and the Bermondsey food and drink culture which I haven't talked about today, and I promise I will do another video on. But on the other side of these railway tracks behind me is one end of what's called the Bermondsey Beer Mile. The Bermondsey Beer Mile is over a mile of tap houses and local breweries serving a variety of different local brews. We will do another video on that if you want me to. If you do, leave a comment in the comments, let me know. And maybe next time when we come to Bermondsey, we'll look at the Bermondsey Beer Mile. Thank you, Megatrip watcher. Hopefully you've enjoyed the content today, and if you like what you've seen in this video, please make sure that you like and most importantly subscribe. Tick that little bell icon down there and that will get you subscribed for more Megatrip videos as they come out. And I promise you are not going to want to miss my Megatrip coming up this summer, just a few weeks now. Anyway, join me next time here on Megatrip. Cheers.